Today, I'm talking, as I said, about self-making and self-building. First, we have to know that everyone is unique. Everyone is unique, and everyone is different. And everyone is different in terms of the potentials, in terms of skills, in terms of the abilities. Everyone is unique. And even in terms of a talent, you see. So what I have, you don't, and what you have, I don't. You see, even if some people they share one talent, but really someone is better off. You see? So that is why everyone is unique. Everyone is unique. And this is the first step. We have to understand that you yourself, to believe in yourself, that no one is like you. No one is like you. Even if someone is look like you on a shape, but also within your mind, within your heart, nobody is like you. You are different. You are different. Then you need to know also what is your importance. You need to know what is your importance. How important are you? Okay? How important are you among your family, your friends, your colleagues, and even your own society or wherever you live? How important are you? What is your value? What do you do for people so that you will be recognized among those people I mentioned? This kind of question, it will lead you exactly to know your worth, to know how valuable are you among your society, among your friends, among your colleagues. That is what you're supposed to answer. This question really, it will lead you in order to find yourself, in order to make yourself. That is what you can do in order to find your own self. And you also need to ask yourself frequently, what am I good at? What am I good at? What distinguishes me from others? How good I am in this? You see? So these kind of questions, it will lead you in order to find your own worth. It will lead you in order to find your own talent. It will lead you in order to find your own possibility and ability. That is kind of question you're supposed to ask yourself. In addition, that also you need to ask yourself, and this question, people shouldn't ask you. At first, you have to ask yourself, what do you want in life? What do you want in life? And what do you want out of life? These kind of questions, it will lead you in order to find yourself. It will lead you in order to find your own goal and your own ambition. You see? So you have to know, what do you want in life? What do you want in life? The majority of people, even especially in our own society, you know, they always repeat certain problems and obstacles, that excuses. They will say, I couldn't do this and I cannot do this because of this, because of that. Sometimes they blame the government, sometimes they blame the poverty, and sometimes they blame their own parents and whatever. They are really very good at finding excuses. And it shouldn't happen. It shouldn't happen. We shouldn't have kind of these excuses. You see, that is a negative, pessimistic thinking, where you always try to find excuses and justify your own failure. That is not right. That is not right. In order to justify for your own failure, whom are you going to make them believe you? Other people? But you lie to yourself. You lie to yourself. And that is a big mistake. That is why it's supposed to be a shift here. A positive shift, that to think positively and optimistically, to always think about what you can do. That is why Les Brown, he used to say, it's not important whatever happens to you. The important thing is, what are you going to do? That is the most important. Because staying there, justifying, complaining, it will take you backward. It will take you backward, and it will lead you nowhere except to a total, absolute failure. That is why you have to think positively. Instead of you counting the excuses, the obstacles, the reasons why you should fail, you should count what will make you succeed. That is the point there. That point, it will lead you in order to find yourself, because that is kind of challenge. It will drive you in order to challenge. It will drive you in order to step up and to stand still for your own success, for your own things and goals in life you want. But surrendering and giving up, finding the reasons for your own failure, that it will take you backward. And you will never discover your own worth. You will never discover your own talent. You will never discover your own potentials. You will never discover your own skills and what you can do. So here we have to think positively. We have to think positively. Even sometimes people about the work, they don't select. They are not selective. They are not selective about their work. They will say, I would just want to make living. But people have to make living through what they love to do. You see, making money only in order to make life, make living, that is okay. You know, at some point of your life, you have to do that. But you shouldn't forget that you have something else that you really love to do. Because doing something you don't love, when you go and do kind of work that you don't love, definitely you will not have job satisfaction, never, ever. Every day in the early morning when you wake up, you will just be lazy and put in your mind, oh, I'm going to that routine. You see? Because you don't love to do this job. This is not what you meant to do in life. But because you didn't do any kind of efforts in order to find what you love to do. You see? That is why you will just fall and fail here. You see? So, finding yourself is also through the job. Because job is not only making living. Job itself is making life. Job is making life. When you work and do a certain kind of job, that you are making life. You are making life. And this is what you're supposed to think about. You see? This is what you're supposed to think about, that you are making life. Because when you find something that you really love, you will always be creative. You will always be innovative. You will always find new ideas. You will always do it at the best. You see? And you will be perfect at that. You will be very satisfied. That is why finding the job that you love to do is really very important in order to find yourself. In order to find yourself. But being in a place where you don't fit. You are wasting your time. Not only wasting your time, but also you are making yourself sick, because those self reactions, that the unhappy feeling you have deep within, definitely is going to make you sick. Sooner or later you will have blood pressure. Soon or later you will have blood pressure. Why? Because you are in a place where you are not happy. And we know very well what is called the stress hormone, the cortisol. You see, the stress hormone. So if you really want to be happy, you're supposed to do kind of job that you really love. It will not come and find you in your place. That is in only one case. You see, when you are really qualified enough and working hard on yourself, and you knew very well how to market yourself, the job will come and find you. You see, like those websites, job opportunity websites, you will just put your CV there confidently, then you will receive emails from people. You will receive emails from, because you are really very qualified doing this job. Very qualified doing this job. And here, usually people, they don't consider that when someone will do kind of favoritism or nepotism for you, that you will be given a job. Okay, someone will be a mediator for you in order to get a certain job. If you are not qualified for this job, and even you don't have any interest, or even you are not really ready enough in order to handle this job at this point or even in the future, don't accept it. Because accepting something that which is not for you and not suitable for you, definitely you will get lost in life and you will fail. That is why it's really very important when somebody will tell you, I'm going to help you to find this job, be careful. Because that way maybe you are killing your own talent. You are killing your own skills. You see? If you really like that kind of job and you can go forward and develop and be creative, accept it. Otherwise, accepting job that you are not qualified for, that is something against your own self. Against making yourself. You see? So it's really important to know those points. In addition, how do I find myself? How can I make myself? How can I make myself? There are certain tools that you can do in order to make yourself, which are one of the best tools. Okay? The schools, yeah, okay, they could help you, but when you go to school, they don't teach you about your own talent, about your own skills, about your own potentials, about your self-worth. No, that is not happening at all. You will be given only subjects: chemistry, biology, geography, history, mathematics. You will be taught those materials. But nobody will tell you, nobody will teach you about finding your own self. That is why finding your own self, it is something else. Although really, they're supposed to teach you that at school. You see? They're supposed to teach you that at school, because that is what someone, his name is Luis, he mentioned that things that will not be taught, you will not be taught about. I will tell you, okay, about 10 things. About 10 things that school will not teach you. Okay? You see, there are certain things that school will not teach you. Yes. Where is it? Yeah. School will not teach you how to love yourself. School will not teach you how to love yourself. School will not teach you how to deal with anger. School will not teach you how to take care well of yourself. School will not teach you how to handle failure. School will not teach you how to be successful. School will not teach you how to think out of the box. School will not teach you how to handle your mental health. School will not teach you how to handle or to deal with a broken heart. School will not teach you how to have emotional intelligence. School will not teach you how to overcome worries and tension. You see, that is why you yourself, you need to teach yourself those things. Through what? Through reading, okay? Through reading. And even here, in this reading, there are certain things that you're supposed to read. Like, you're supposed to read about the job that you want to do, about your own field in life. But in addition, also, you have to educate yourself generally, reading about other things. If you don't like to read those books, you have to listen, because they are audio books. Now, there is audio book, so you can listen, okay? In addition to like browsing and finding certain videos about lectures in what you want in life. This is what it will help you in order to develop yourself and find your own self. Also, one of the tools is that to reprioritize, okay? I mean, to set your priorities in order, okay? To put your priorities in order. There are certain things that you're supposed to do now, not to do it later, okay? So you don't need to make it later. They are now, okay? So your own priorities. In addition to time management, to divide your time and invest it very well. To divide your time like for reading, for sport, and even checking Facebook and WhatsApp. You see, because this is not logical that you will spend the 24 hours only on Facebook or WhatsApp and you don't do any other things related to your own life. You see, so you have to divide your time. And whatever you want to do in life, you have to divide your own time. Also, one of the tools is that you will always have thinking. I mean, you will think, okay? And think frequently, okay? About your own success, about your own worth. That is what you're supposed to think about. That is what you're supposed to think about. So you don't need to live like you are not there, okay? You're supposed to live with your own existence, that you are somebody. You are really very important, okay? So that is really very important in order to help yourself to be yourself, okay? So not to be only normal, as I said, to eat, to sleep, and bringing children. That is, we share this with animals. But we as a human being, we have been given mind, okay? We have been given mind. So we have to use our own minds that is why we will be successful. You see? So we have to think about that. We have to think about that. So we need to do something different. We have to do something different. In addition, always to find what is the meaning of life and what is the meaningful life. What is the meaning of life and what is the meaningful life that we have to live it. Okay? Observe the whole world. There are some people, okay, your own age, okay, if you are 30, 40 or 45, you just see how those people are living and how are you living. Then you will just, with this comparison, okay, you will try even like to step up and do something for your own life. Although even we ourselves, sometimes we don't need to compare ourselves to other people, because I said everyone is unique and everyone is different. You see, that is why we have to think carefully. When we compare ourselves to other people, it's just only to motivate ourselves. Only motivation, but not to be same like other people, because you will never live your life if you are copying someone else's life. You will never live your life if you are copying someone else's life. That is why we have to think carefully about this. We have to think carefully when we are comparing ourselves to the other people. And these are really very simple things that we're supposed to think about when we are trying to find our own self. As I said earlier, and I will just briefly again, I will mention it, self-making and self-building, that everybody is unique and everyone is really different in their own life, their own talents, skills, possibilities, potentials. Everyone is unique and everyone is different. Okay, so you have to find those things, what it will make you unique. This is your own responsibility, not someone else. And even being unique, as I said, you will be unique in everything. In everything. Your work, your life. This is a style of life. You see, this is a style of life. A lifestyle that you're supposed to follow, that you are unique. Okay? You are not like anyone at all. You see, and then also you need to find your own importance. How important are you among your family, your friends, your colleagues, even your own society, or even what do you do for the rest of the world? Okay, that is why someone said, you have to think big. Okay, you have to think big and aim high. Think big and aim high. That is what you're supposed to do, because sometimes people, they have really very limited ambitions. Okay, and so having limited ambitions, you will be lazy. You see, there will be no any challenge. If you want to feel the real challenge, the spirit of challenge, is that you should put something bigger. Okay, put a bigger target, because when you put really that wild target, definitely you need effort. So these efforts, you need energy, and then you will be active. But when you put something that you can achieve really very easily, you will not use energy. You will not be in challenge. That is why you have to think big and aim high. That is really very important. And to find exactly what is your value in your own society. What is your value on the society you live, or among the group that you used to be with. You see, if you are nothing, then you have to find yourself something. You see that you're supposed to be valuable, to be in addition, okay? To be an addition to people, okay? Not only, something that like accessory, okay? No, you're supposed to be important, very important, okay? You're supposed to be very important. So also you have to think always about what you want in your own life, and not only to think about the excuses and the reasons for your own failure. No, you don't need to do that. You need to find the reasons for your own success. You need to find what it will make you successful, and then to count all those things which will guarantee success for you and will give you the opportunity you want, but not only to think about the failure, the things that will not make you successful. And this is here, you need a positive thinking, not the negative thinking, the pessimist negative thinking, where you will just only complain and find reason for your own failure. Sometimes the government, sometimes the poverty, and sometimes your own parent, your friends, and whatever. You see? So it's really very easy that you can justify your own failure so that you convince others, but at the same time, you are lying to yourself. You are lying to yourself. Yourself will not be happy with you. You see? So when you are with people, okay, those with people maybe they will be convinced, okay, that you persuaded them. But you cannot persuade yourself, because when you will be with yourself, definitely you will have a talk with yourself. That is why you should always be accurate. You should always be precise about your own goals, about your own answers and so on. So like being positive, counting all the reasons where you will be successful, but don't be in that corner of failure where you will always justify things in a wrong way so that you convince people by your own failure. Okay? And as I said also about the type of job that you're supposed to do, a very kind of job that you really love and you have kind of skills. You see, because doing kind of job that you don't love, definitely you are killing yourself, you are killing your skills, and you are wasting your own qualifications. Okay? So that is when you will be overqualified. I don't say that you don't work any work in order or to land any job in order to make living. No problem. Make living, land any job, make living, but it's supposed to be for a certain time. Okay? Supposed to be for a certain time until you find what you really love to do. Because like as I said, Les Brown said, one day when you will just be laying down there on the bed about to leave this whole world, your talent, your skills, your potentials, your abilities will come and stand before you and ask you, okay, a blaming question. Why did you waste us? Why you did not use us? You see? So that is why we have to be careful and to remember always and to find our own talent, our own skills, and what we are capable of. You see? That is through the job opportunities. And even if you are doing kind of job you don't love, try to prepare yourself. Okay? And I say it here really to know how to market yourself. How you will like qualify yourself well, and even to guarantee all the necessary things which will help you in order to land that kind of dream job you want. Okay? So that even the job will come to find you. But this is not always. Sometimes also you have to go and find the job that you are looking for. Okay? This is really very important. So in order to develop yourself also you need to read. And you need to read a lot. And to browse and even to check some videos. And even if you don't read those books, you can just have like audio books, which is really very available these days in order to develop yourself. You can read on your own field at the same time to read generally to educate yourself. Because even educating yourself, it will help you in order to find yourself, your talent, your skills, your abilities. Okay? Because that is a general thing. Through that general reading, you can find yourself and what you love to do in life too. Okay? Also, you need to rearrange your own priorities and to divide your own time in a way that you will invest it very well, dividing time for reading, dividing time for sleeping, and even for WhatsApp and Facebook, in addition to sport and your own health, or even if you have family. Through that way, you are going to be really very successful, and you should always be like in a thinking that you will think, you will be thoughtful, and to think about your own achievement, your own success. What did I do last week or last month or even last year or 5 years? So you have to put that in your mind so that you can evaluate your own self, and then you will find what you can do and what else is left that you did not do. You don't need to live like you are nobody. You have to be somebody, okay? And as I said, to use this mind, we are not only same like animals. Animals, they eat, they sleep, they drink. They even like, they deliver babies and so on. But we as a human beings, we share with them that way, but also we have mind. So we have to use our mind, because our mind have been given to us so that we can do something and so that we can touch and add touch to this life, okay? So this is really very important, and then through that way you can find something different that you can do to the society and help even developing the society, or even anything that which is possible for you in order to be very well good human being, okay? So then also you need to find the meaning of life and to find the meaningful life. The meaning of life and the meaningful, to live the meaningful life, okay? So, and also you need to observe the whole world. Observing the whole world, you will see how people somewhere are living and somewhere they are living. How the difference, you see, even sometimes you can compare, as I said, your own age. If you are 30, 35 or 40 or 45, some people somewhere, your own age, they achieve so many things. So you yourself, you have to question yourself. Not only to feel sorry, no, but only to motivate yourself that, okay, there is more to do, okay? So, because comparing yourself sometimes is good in terms of motivation and to drive yourself forward, but not to drive yourself back and feeling sorry and remorse that I did nothing, I failed. No, you will compare yourself in order to find yourself. Even comparing is not that you will just consider yourself as a copy in order to imitate. No, because that way you will never live your life. So, only you will compare yourself in order to motivate yourself to find your real self, okay? Thank you for listening. That is what I have for you today about making yourself, about self-building. I do thank you really all for being here with me, listening and sharing these simple informations. May God bless you, and thank you for your own time. I'm here to read your own comments, and even if you have any additional sharing, I'm ready to bring you on camera. There are certain people here, really very great people, motivating others, like Mr. Joe, Mr. Shakur, and even Mr. Imam, and other people that whom I don't know. If somebody really would like to come on camera and share a bit about self-making, I'm ready. Otherwise, I'm gonna read some comments over here, like our brother, what he said. It's not important what happens to you, but what are you going to do about it? Crying and complaining are useless. Try to do something and move on with your life so that things will not repeat itself again. Thank you, dear At-Taib Umara. That is really very great comment. That is for Les Brown. And if nobody really watched and saw the story, the life story of Les Brown, I do suggest for you just check on YouTube about Les Brown. Really, he's one of those great motivational speakers, and even he achieved himself not only in a very easy way, but in a hard way, in a difficult times. And he came through very really in a very difficult situation. And I do remember one of the things that he mentioned is that before he started, the teacher used to use kind of bullying against him, okay? So like children used to say that he is dumb, he is fool, and so on, okay? So one day He went in a wrong class, so the teacher caught him and he said to him, come and write this on the board. So he said, I cannot. He said, why? Then Les Brown said, because people there saying I'm fool and I'm dumb and I don't understand. Then the teacher asked him and he said, come here, please listen, son. Someone opinion of you, it's not necessary that it will be you. Okay, so you don't need to listen what other people will say about you. You have to listen to your own self and to find your own worth, not only to think what other people think of you. That is really very that is not nice in order to do about yourself. Okay, thank you so much. So if anyone would like to come to bring them all on camera, I can, no problem. Like we have our brother here, Mr. Marwan. Mr. Marwan, really, because last time we tried to bring you, I will try to bring you on camera. Let me see and try. Last time we tried to connect him and we couldn't, but I will try. Hello, dear Mr. Marwan. There is no voice, but if you can just take your own voice, I can't hear you.
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you now.
So how you doing?
I'm okay, very well. Mr. Marwan, the talk today, first I do
Yeah.
thank Yuri for being here with me, being live. Today we're talking about self-making and self-building. So you yourself, I guess today, you shared some pictures on your own page, like the past years, what were you doing and so on. So what do you think? How do you find yourself? How do you make yourself? If you could just tell us briefly and even share with the people some opinions and some informations about that, I would be thankful for you.
So first of all, thank you for inviting me. And before I answer this question, would you allow me to go back just the previous discussion about the discrimination and the wasting time, if you don't
Yeah,
mind,
okay.
just briefly.
Yeah, okay, no problem. Okay, no problem.
So let's start by obviously the discrimination, and obviously you spoke about discrimination, what is going on. Obviously I have watched the videos and then the photos of the two Pride and the Groomy in
Yeah, yeah,
Sudan, and then public made the racial comments on that. But let's
yeah.
go back a little bit on the history of our country and the discrimination. Who started the discrimination in our country? Not the people from the western region or the Blue Nile side or the Nuba Mountain. They started from the north and from the east. So when the people now they started speaking out against them, they don't like it. Why?
No,
Because
but see,
you the one is started.
yes.
Yeah, and you
Yeah,
the
see,
one
but
that
see,
started the
here in this point,
discrimination.
no, sorry, but in this point, you see, like, even for you being successful, okay, sometimes in order to solve the problems, you don't need to go back there in order to find the reasons. But because now people are in a different century, those whom they started the problem, I know that some people they inherited this, okay? So the new generation, they don't have any reason to do with this. Only they inherited something. They are victims themselves. And that is as I said last time, Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela, when he came in South Africa, what he said, he started from where he is in order to solve the problem, right? So we need to be positive in order to solve these kind of problems, because like nobody like this time okay, in order to be like, attacked, or even to be like, to criticize about who he is. But we can just put certain words that what we have to do right now in order to stop it. Okay, what we have to do. That is the positive
Yeah,
thinking, my dear.
I'm sorry. Honestly, I'm sorry. I disagree with you in a number of points you have made. You made a point about Mandela. Uh,
Mm.
you need to ask yourself a question. Why the Mandela fought for? He fought for the land and the free of the South African
Mm.
people. And at the end, in South Africa today, as I'm talking to you,
Mm.
the black people is still struggling. The economy are not doing well on the hands of the you know white uh, in South Africa. So he fought for nothing. He spent 27 years in prison for nothing,
Mm.
and it's still the people facing the same problem in South Africa today. So if you want to use that example, when I don't want to talk about too much about
Yeah,
South
it is
Africa
better.
because
It is
it's not
better
our
for us
topic at
here,
the moment.
because
But
really this talk is just, maybe it will take more time for us in order that will change the topic of today. But no problem, I can repeat the same topic again, and then we can have like live discussion. But right now,
so
let
what
us,
the topic today?
the topics today, it's about self-making, how you make yourself, okay? How you supposed
Obviously,
to build yourself and to find yourself as a good human being, to find your own talent, your own skills, your own capabilities. You can tell me.
so it depends of the individual, and obviously some people